I'm getting text messages during the Super Bowl. Remember you said he was the greatest ever. Remember you said he gonna be in the conversation. And then by the end of the game, oh, you was right. You was right. You said it. Now we believe it. Come on, man. We gotta trust what our eyes tell us. Gee, sometimes my eyes and my gut doesn't match up. But sometimes it's just easy. Just like he got a $500 million contract for the Kansas City Chiefs, that's easy. It's easy to get that guy that kind of money. For me, my head and my gut matched up. My gut is a big one, so I got to listen to it extra. But when they lined up, I had to say what I had to say. And it's the truth, man. That's Patrick Mahomes. And when it's all said and done, I truly believe he will be known as the greatest quarterback to ever play in the game.
Here's the vision I'm having of the future for both of you guys. But Marcus, I will start with you because we've been doing this for 2 years now. And anyone who watches this show knows how much you love basketball and how much you love, in particular, LeBron James. And so I just have this vision of us sitting, hopefully, in the same room by that time, but having this conversation 10 years from now. And there is a generation of people who want to anoint Mahomes as the greatest of all time. And the Brady people are out there saying, he's got 6 rings. You got to have 6. I mean, the symmetry of that lining up with Michael's 6 just fits so well to me. Do you believe that 10 years from now, that will be the debate? The young people will be saying Mahomes is the greatest of all time, and the Brady people will be like the Jordan people today.
Absolutely, G, and it would be the antithesis of the conversation that we have about LeBron James and Michael Jordan. And you know where I fall on that side. It's LeBron James for me. This will be another part of that argument to put Mahomes as the greatest quarterback ever, even though he may not end up with 6 rings. You look at the talent and the ability and all of the things that he can do on the football field, and people will make that argument. I know I will. I know I'll make the argument that Patrick Mahomes is the greatest ever based on what I think he'll be able to accomplish, even though it may not be 6 Super Bowls. It will give us our Michael Jordan, LeBron James, football argument between Mahomes and Brady, and I'm going to be on the side of Mahomes, especially if he gets 2 or 3 more Super Bowls.
So, Greg, I hope you'll be sitting alongside us in that conversation, and here's the deal. There's such a symmetry here because Jordan has 6, Brady has 6. LeBron right now has 3. If someone like Mahomes, for the next 2 seasons, his money doesn't really kick in, if you will, until 3 years from now. The next 2 years, he is a relative bargain from a contract standpoint. They can bring back all these players. If a guy like Mahomes is sitting there with 3 championships, will you be willing to say he has surpassed Brady? I'm just throwing out that as a straw man argument. Would you be willing to say he has surpassed Brady as the greatest of all time?
If you gave me the choice right now, knowing what we know, what's made Brady incredible is his longevity and consistency. And right now, we don't know what we're going to get from Mahomes 10 years from now. But if I had to pick a guy right now, had to pick one for my franchise for 20 years, I'd take Pat Mahomes. I really believe that because I think that upside is so remarkable. And if you look at Brady's early tenure, his first 3 rings, the defense was really the star of the show. And of course, as he got later on in his career, he developed more of a mindset and ability to stretch the field, ability to take over games. But it took him a few years to get to that point. Pat Mahomes, from his first start as a rookie, was maybe the best player on the field. So if I had to pick one between the two, knowing I'm going to get 20 years of health and consistency, I'm taking Mahomes because that ceiling is just so incredibly high.
The way that these two debates could stack up is really good to me. You might have seen Hembo's pop up there. The age difference is much closer than I might have thought. The age difference between LeBron and Jordan and between Brady and Mahomes is actually much closer than I would have thought. So it is a really good comparison. Go ahead, Marcus.
I have to say this because I think it's very important what Greg just said. And I call Greg G, so this is a very confusing show for me today. I don't know what the hell to say. But what Greg just said is crazy. When you think about it in context, Greg just gave the word upside to Patrick Mahomes. Or like that, and that's the truth. He still has things that he can do better as a quarterback. So think about that And what we're having a conversation about, we're talking about a guy that's won a Super Bowl, been to an AFC Championship, is 24 years old. And he's already trending in the conversation with the greatest ever. Greg McElroy, who I respect as much as anybody in this business when it comes to looking at quarterbacks and seeing talent, just said his upside. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is how good he is. And we just have to acknowledge the fact that this is something we've never seen before in the NFL. And I don't think we'll fully appreciate that until we get down the road and we start into Pat Mahomes, into the meat and potatoes of his career, man.
That's fair. That's totally fair. But here's another thing we've never seen before. We've never seen a quarterback lead teams to the Super Bowl at age 39, 40, and 41, as Brady did. He was the MVP of the league at one point in there, threw for 500 yards in a Super Bowl in the middle of all of that, in a game that they lost, of all things. So I think Greg's initial point was a good one. The longevity is what separated Brady from everybody else. 7 years ago, we weren't saying Brady was the unquestioned GOAT. It's doing it at this stage of his career and his life that has separated him from everybody else. Mahomes obviously has a long way to go before we can even have that conversation. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.